Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Draw with Rob with me, Rob Biddulph. There I am now. I'm a children's author and illustrator. You might have seen some of my books before, but do you know what? Today is a very special episode of Draw with Rob for two reasons. Firstly, it's a bonus episode. You weren't expecting this episode, were you? So you've got a little extra drawing lesson this week, which is really fun. The second reason why this is a special episode is because it's brought to you in conjunction with my friends at Osmo. Who are Osmo, I hear you ask? Well, Osmo, they make educational games for tablets. So for your iPads and your Fire tablets, things like that. And they're really cool. So you download their apps. They've got all these different sorts of games that you can play that help you with your numbers and with your spelling and that sort of thing. But it's not just a regular app. You don't just get the app because they give you a bit of equipment to go with the app. This thing here is pretty cool, isn't it? I know, you don't know what it is, do you? Should I show you what it is? Should I show you how this thing works very quickly, right? What you do, you take this little red bit with Osmo written on it. You grab your tablet like this. Here's my tablet. You slide this little thing very easily. You just slide it onto the top where the camera is on your tablet. And then you put it in the little stand like that. So you can see what's going on the screen here. But this little camera at the top, it looks to see what you are doing in front of your tablet. Why does it need to do this? Well, I tell you why. Because it's brilliantly clever. Because what it means is you can interact with what's going on the screen down here, and Osmo, the Osmo app, can see what you're doing. So for example, there's all sorts of different games. You can get all these different starter kits, basically. There's one called the Genius Kit, one called the Creative Kit, there's one called the Little Genius Kit, which is for really little ones. There's even like a coding kit for our computer programmers of the future. And actually, listen, you need to stay tuned because they've given me 3 of the Genius starter kits to give away to you guys. So there's going to be a little competition later on. So you need to stay tuned to see if you can win one of these things. But yes, part of these little games kits, they've got all different sorts of games. So they've got, for example, they've got a words game, okay, a spelling game. So they will show you a picture on the screen here. And what they do, they give you these little, I just dropped a box. They give you these little kind of counter things with letters on, and they'll show you a picture of, say, a bird, and they'll say, what is it? And you have to spell out the word bird down here. And that camera thing can see what you're doing, and it sees if you get it right. And so you're sort of playing a little game, but you're learning how to spell at the same time. There's a maths one. There's a really cool one with these little counter things. There's lots of different shapes here. Let's see if I can open this. Whoop. Open my box. I can't open a box. There we go. Open the box. See these little shapes, all sorts of little shapes here. And what this one does, it puts a little silhouette of an animal or some kind of object on your screen here. And you have to arrange these to make that shape here. So it's like a little puzzle game. But it sees what you're doing and it can see if you're right or wrong. It's so clever. And so there's one called Newton, which is like, basically you have these falling balls on the screen. And another thing that's brilliant is you can put a piece of paper here and you can draw and it can see what you're drawing. And that's really good for this Newton one because these little balls drop, and if you draw a little diagonal line, you can see on your screen the balls sort of hit that line and bounce off, and you have to get them to land in these little kind of like basket things. Oh my gosh, it's so addictive. I really loved it. I was playing it for ages earlier today. But you know what? The one that I am really interested in is one called Masterpiece. Now I'm going to play you a little video now. Hopefully you've seen a little video which will give you more of an idea of how this one works. But basically what you can do, you can pick any image from the camera or a gallery, or you can download something off the internet, and Masterpiece program will convert it into a very simple line drawing that it will put up on the screen. You put your piece of paper in front of it and you can sort of trace the line drawing on the screen, but you can do it in real life. This is what I love about Osmo. Basically it allows children who are using it to interact in the physical world with things that are happening in the digital world on their screen. It's amazing. And then what's brilliant at the end, it records you doing this, so you get a little magical sort of time-lapse video of you making this drawing that you can then send off to your friends and family. It's really, really cool. Trust me, it's really good. But as I said, all Osmo does really is give you a helping hand in creating artwork, which is exactly why I'm here, isn't it? Because I've been talking for a long time, haven't I? But I think it's about time we did one of our regular Draw with Rob drawings together. What do you think? Does that sound like a good plan? I hope it does. And what I thought I'd draw today is one of Osmo's characters, one of the characters that features quite a lot in the game. And this character is called Mo the monster. So I thought that today I would show you guys how to draw Mo. Does that sound like a good plan? Yes, jolly good. So what you're going to need, a piece of paper, a pen or a pencil, something to draw with would be handy. We're going to need something probably to colour with a bit later on. If you haven't got anything to colour with, don't worry too much. You can just colour in with your pencils, that's fine. And this is how Draw with Rob works, in case you've never done it before. Lots of people say to me they don't think they're very good at drawing, so I say, well, I can give you a hand, as I mentioned earlier. What we're going to do, we're going to break this drawing down into little tiny pieces. So I'm going to draw a tiny bit of the drawing on my piece of paper here. Then you can pause this video and you just copy exactly what I do. Then start the video up again. I will draw a bit more. Pause it. You will draw. I draw. You draw. I draw. You draw. I draw. You draw. And by the end, we'll have put all these little pieces together and we will have a really fabulous drawing of Osmo's Mo the monster. There's going to be a fun one, this. So I might even make it a bit Christmassy at the end because we're getting close to Christmas, aren't we? So should we start? Yes? Let's do it. Okay, so the very first thing that I want you to do is right up near the top of your paper, maybe about 3 centimeters from the top of your paper, I want you to start by drawing a very simple sort of semicircle shape, like that. Nice and simple start, okay? Then from the right hand bottom bit of your semicircle, I want you just to draw a very short diagonal line, like that. Nice and easy. Then from the bottom of that, we're going to come down vertically a little bit further than the length of the diagonal line, maybe 2 or 3 centimeters, like that. Okay, so I'm using a brush pen, so you can see sometimes the line that I draw goes a bit thick and thin, but I just quite like that. It's quite nice, isn't it? Sometimes when it's just the thickness of the line is the same all the way around, it can be a little bit boring, I think. So I think it's quite nice to have a little bit of variety in the thickness of your line. Okay, next, from the bottom here, we are going to come around the bottom. Now we're not just going to come around in a straight line, we're going to sort of do it in a little series of zigzaggy lines, like that. Because, so I tell you, this is going to be our character's chin, and he's quite a furry character, is Mo the monster, so we need to add a little bit of sort of zigging and zagging there to make it look a bit furry. And then what I want you to do is from the bottom here, we're going to go back up, and again we're going to have one of those little diagonal lines there, and that is going to be the outline of Mo's head. Okay, next thing to do, we need to add a couple of little ears. So his ears, they sort of come out from the side of his head like that. So I want you to draw one line coming out there, about 1 centimeter long, and the same on that side. Not going up, sort of more going across, slightly upwards maybe. And then I just want you to come down and join them back up to the head here. So they're quite sort of long, thin shapes for ears. I'll tell you what, I think we're going to leave the face. We'll leave that to the end. Because I might use a slightly thinner pen for the face. So I'm going to keep hold of my brush pen here while we do Mo's body. So this is how we do that. From the sides of his chin, we're going to do a little tiny line coming out each side. And these are going to be his shoulders, okay? Then from his left shoulder, so the right shoulder as we look at it, we're going to do pretty much a vertical line coming down, about that far. Then we're going to make the angle, slightly change the angle, and we're going to come out a bit, and we're going to go all the way down our page, not quite to the bottom, but getting towards the bottom. And then when we get down here, we're just going to start adding a few more of those little zigzaggy lines in, okay? Because remember, this is a Mo the monster is a furry sort of a monster, so we need to add some of these zigzag lines in to make him feel nice and furry. Let's do the same on the other side. So remember, we go down first of all, a short way, and then we change our angle and we start coming down here. I'm going to add a couple of more little zigzags down here to make him really furry. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to join it up at the bottom, like that. And that is going to be Mo's body. Nice and easy so far, right? Okay, let's give him some arms. So from this shoulder, let's do a straight line coming down there, about 2 centimeters, and another one just there. Similar length, we're going to stop at the same point. Now this is where it gets a little bit trickier, because what I want you to do, instead of keeping on going with this arm, we are going to just draw a sort of randomy zigzag shape at the bottom of that arm. And then from this zigzag, we're going to come down further. This is like a little bit of extra fur that he has on his arms. And it sort of comes down and around. And then we're going to add a little bit more zigzagginess, like that, at the bottom. And then we're going to join it back up. I'm going to join it up in a bit of a curvy shape, like that. Because the bottom of his arms, it sort of expands outwards, like that. Okay, should we do the same on the other side? So this one, let's go down like that from the shoulder. And this one's going to be a bit closer to his body, so I'm just going to add, let's just add 3 little zigzags on this side. Yeah, and we're going to come down from here in a bit of a curvy shape. Again, like that, down. We're going to try and make them the same length on each side, so that's going to come down to about there. A few little zigzaggers, like that. And then we're going to join back up there. So there we go, 2 arms. We need to give him some hands now. Let's do this side first. Now, I'm going to do his hands. I'm going to do him sort of with his palms up, like that, looking towards us, sort of shrugging his shoulders, saying, hi! Like that. So we're going to draw, first of all, let's draw a thumb. So we're going to draw a straight line, little curve at the end, and we're going to start heading back up. We're going to stop before we join back up, and then we're going to draw another line coming down and going around like that. That's going to be 1 finger. And then we're going to draw another one, like that, coming down. And then the little finger, he has 4 fingers, this particular monster. We're going to do this, the bottom one's going to be a little bit shorter. Come up, come around, and then we're just going to join back up, like that. So there we go, a sort of open palm. This side we're going to do the same. Let's start over here this time. We're going to come down and around in a simple-ish curve. Then we're going to head back up like that for one of the fingers. Now this time we're going to go straight across to the thumb. Straight across like that. And we're going to draw the thumb in around there. And then we're going to add the fingers over the top of that line. Like that. So do you see what I mean? That's that sort of the little pad bit of your thumb. Just there, isn't it? We've just sort of drawn that line in. There we go. So look. He is showing us palms of his little monstery hands. Now he needs something to stand on next, don't you think? Would help, wouldn't it? He needs to stand on something. Let's give him some legs. We're going to do a leg coming from down here, heading down towards the bottom of my page. He's only got little legs. So I'm just going to draw them slightly bent. This curve is going to come along the bottom of our page. We're going to head up in a diagonal line there, and we're just going to join back up there. And then on the end of his foot, we're just going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 little semicircles for his little monstery toes. Let's do the same on this side. We'll start with just a little line there. You're going to have to probably do a lot of pausing in this video because there's lots of little lines and little bits and pieces for you to follow, isn't there? Then we're going to draw a curve that comes down to there. Another line for the other foot. We'll do it going to about there. Straight across again. Back up. There's a nice foot shape. And then finally we're going to join his leg up to his body. Let's see if I haven't left much room there. Have I 1, 2, 3, 4 little toes like that. And there we go. Our Mo is really starting to take shape. Now I'm going to change my pen to my thinner pen here, because it makes it a little bit easier for me. We need to add on some little claws. He has these really cool purple claws on the end of his fingers. And so these are they're not really sharp, but they're quite sharp. They're sort of in a triangle shape, but with a rounded end. It's sort of a cross between claws and fingernails, I guess. Let's do them over here too. 1, 2, 3. And one on his thumb, just like that. Okay, so they sort of match. I think these are like purple claws as opposed to toes as well, these bits. But that will become clear when we do the colouring in a bit later. Okay, face time. I always like doing the face best. It's always the favourite part of my drawing. Is it yours? I really like doing faces. Okay, we'll start with the nose, shall we? So the nose is nice and easy. We're just going to draw. It's sort of like a rectangle with rounded corners. I'm going to do that pretty much in the middle of those two diagonal lines there. So a nice simple nose. Eyes. Now his eyes are almost square actually. So they come up like that. Again, slightly rounded corners, but we're going to do one there, and they're sort of hidden, tucked in behind his nose, and one there, like that. So do you see what I mean? They're sort of quite square, his eyes, but then his pupils are nice and round, so we're going to draw a little circle in the middle there, a little circle in the middle there. This is fun now, because we're going to draw an even smaller circle in the middle there, an even smaller circle in the middle there. Then we're going to draw a tiny circle, and we're going to colour around it. So we're going to basically leave a little white circle in the middle of each of his pupils. And can you see that makes it look like there's a bit of light catching his pupils? It really brings them to life, I think. So there we go, there's Mo's little eyes. Let's give him some eyebrows. Now his eyebrows, do you remember my eyebrows trick? If you want to make somebody look happy, you add their eyebrows a long way above the eyes. If you want them to be angry, you sort of add them right down close to the eyes. Mo, the monster here, is a very friendly sort of monster, so we're going to add his eyebrows right up towards the top of his head. We're going to do little sort of rectangle eyebrows, and they're going to be sort of going up in that direction because he's lovely and friendly. So there we go, 2 little eyebrows. Now his mouth. This is the bit that gives him his personality, I think, his mouth. We're going to start from where this sort of angle is here, where these 2 lines meet. I want you to draw a line with a very slight curve that sort of stops right in the middle under his nose, like that. And then we're going to carry it on. So there's a little point under his nose. We're going to carry it on right up to that other angle there. Okay. And then from this side, we're going to come back down like that at an angle. And then when we get to here, we're going to change our angle and we're going to go across almost in a very slight curve like that. Okay. And then when we get to this side, we're going to turn around and we're going to head back up here and join up there. Because his mouth, he's going to have his mouth slightly open. The reason it's slightly open is he's got these 2 very special teeth coming up from his bottom jaw. One there and one there, like that. Oh yes, this is cool. And then what we can do is just colour in around those teeth. Okay, so we're just going to colour this bit in black. Lovely. There we go. Mo, the monster. And that's pretty much what Mo looks like. I might just do, you can do this if you want as well. You can go back over your drawing. I'm just going to make a few of these little areas here just a little bit sharper. Like that. Can you see? I've just made them a little bit sharper. I might do that. When I come to colouring, I might just go over it all and make some of these bits a little bit sharper. I won't do it now because we need to carry on our drawing, don't we? Do you remember I said I might make this drawing of Mo slightly festive because we're getting close to Christmas. I thought it'd be nice to do a little Christmas Mo. So what I thought I'd do is I'd add a little Father Christmas hat to our friend Mo. What do you reckon? I think that sounds like a good plan. So this is how you do it. Above this eyebrow here, I want you to draw one of these zigzaggy lines. Okay, you know the zigzag lines that I like doing. But this zigzag line is going to come around here, around the top of his head, behind that ear, and it's going to stop around about there. Okay, so this sort of zigzag shape coming around and behind his right ear. Okay, then from that zigzag shape, I want you to draw a line that goes straight out like that, diagonally up. Then we're going to do another line that comes diagonally down. Then we're going to do another line that goes straight down. And then we're going to do another line that goes diagonally down that way. Then from here, just below the ear, we're going to draw pretty much a horizontal line. And then a little other line just coming off it like that. So like a Y shape on the side. And then from just below the top of that Y shape, we are going to draw a vertical line coming down, stopping there, right next to the other line. And then of course, Father Christmas's famous bobble. So basically a little circle made up of little lines and little zigzags. And look at that! A little Christmas hat for Mo, the monster. And do you know what? That's it. That's the outline done. So now it's time to colour Mo in. Now then, Mo is a sort of orangey colour. That's what colour he is. I don't know if I've got any pictures of him anywhere. I don't think I have. So you're just going to have to take my word for it. But Mo is a sort of orangey colour, so yellowy orangey colour. So all of his body is basically yellowy orangey furriness. Oh, do you know what? I've forgotten a little bit here. I think we need to just add a little line across there on his foot. Maybe a little another one there, like that. Just a little detail. See what I mean? Every now and then I just see a little thing that I've missed and I like to add it in. So yes, his whole body is sort of orange and furry. His little claws or fingernail bits on his hands and his feet, they are purpley in colour, as is his nose. His nose is purple and his eyes are bright green. And of course the Christmas hat is red. But you're going to see, because I'm going to do that in a second, but I am going to go into super speed mode as per usual to do my colouring. So I am going to see you back here in about 30 seconds. Are you ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go! So there we go. There's my finished Mo the monster. I'm pretty pleased with him. What do you think? I hope yours has gone well. I've added a bit of sort of depth to my shading, my orange shading here by using some reds and sort of browny colours sort of here and there. And so I don't know if you noticed, started out with yellow so that it all has a nice yellow base to make the colours nice and punchy, and of course a lovely red Christmas hat to top it off. Now the last thing you need to do, as always, is you need to sign your drawing, don't you? So that everybody knows who has created this lovely work of art. There we go, rubbed it off. I have signed mine, so everyone knows that I drew that. Now, do you remember earlier in this video I said there was going to be a fantastic competition where 3 of you might be able to win the fantastic Osmo Genius Kit for iPad. Shall I tell you how you can be in with a chance of winning? Right, what you need to do is, as usual, you need to get your grown-up to take a picture of your finished drawing. And what I want you to do, or what I want them to do, is to share it on Instagram. Okay, so share it on Instagram. I want you to tag me in that drawing. So this is my name on Instagram, at @rbidolf. So tag me at @rbidolf in that Instagram picture, and I want you to use the hashtag #CreateWithOsmo. And it's very important that you tag me and you use that hashtag #CreateWithOsmo on your Instagram post, because by doing that you will automatically be entered into the competition. And what's going to happen is Osmo are going to select the winners on Friday the 27th of November. They'll be selected on that date, and the people that win will be contacted on that date, probably through the Play Osmo Instagram account. I think that's right. So you're going to need to keep an eye out in your messages or on your feed or in your mentions for something from the Play Osmo Instagram account telling you that you have won an Osmo Genius Kit. Okay, so fingers crossed that could be you. Okay, so now you know how to enter. I've got everything crossed for you to see if you can win one of these fantastic games, devices, things, because I think they're really brilliant. I would not be talking about it if I didn't think it was a really great thing, mums and dads. I really promise you, it's a really good educational toy. It really is, and it really, as I said, I just love the fact that the kids are still doing something with their hands, doing something physical while using all this digital technology. It's really, really brilliant. And if you guys, I tell you what, if you not everyone's going to win one of these things, let's be honest. Only 3 of you can win it. So if you do want to buy one as a Christmas present, mums and dads, why don't you start your Christmas shopping early, as it's Black Friday, isn't it? I think Black Friday very soon. And Osmo is launching deals on all of its starter kits. All of them have got 25% off between the 21st of November and the 4th of December. So that is the time to buy these as Christmas presents, if you want to buy them. Okay. You heard it here first. So there you go. So listen, I'm really proud of my drawing. I hope you've had fun drawing with me. Don't forget to tag me on these posts, and remember to use that hashtag, that Create with Osmo hashtag. You can use the Draw with Rob hashtag too, and that way I'll get to see your drawings as well. I hope you've enjoyed this draw along. Good luck in the competition. Thank you to Osmo for inviting me to do this. I've had a lot of fun. In the meantime, until I see you next, take care of yourselves, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye.